Hey guys, and welcome to episode 21 of Weekend Warriors, the review series for GranTurismo sports car lineup, convertibles, luxury sports cars, sports coupes, etc. And this particular vehicle, which is a sports convertible, a strict two-seater, and really a sports car in the purest sense, is, as you'll have seen from the title of course, a TVR Griffith. This is one of TVR's older models to be featured on the game. Not quite the oldest, not as old as the V8S, but one of the older shape models nonetheless. Now this particular model, along with all TVRs to be honest, are vehicles which I really love. I love everything about them. I love the way TVR makes cars. They really only have one downside, and that is reliability. Apart from that, they pretty much give you the perfect sports car package. They look amazing, they sound incredible, they perform like pretty much nothing else, they're incredibly fun to drive, they're a little bit dangerous to say the least, and they are relatively simple in terms of mechanical construction and also design. A pretty perfect combination all around. The value for money is also very good, considering that they're not overly expensive as far as their performance goes. Now, the Griffith in particular is one of the cheaper TVRs on the game. It costs less than 60 grand, 58,000 credits to be exact, and that really is good value. 58,000 credits for pretty much any high-level sports car that's not quite a super sports car is going to be good value. When it's a TVR, the value is going to be great. Now, one of the things that you can expect from pretty much any TVR is a huge amount of performance for the money and for its spec, because the numbers that they put out, with the exception of the Speed 12, don't tend to be that amazing. On GranTurismo at least, most of the TVRs don't have an insane amount of power, and although they are lightweight, their on-paper spec rarely beats other vehicles in the category. There are plenty of far more powerful vehicles on the game than TVRs, but it's what they can do with the numbers that they've got to work with, and that's definitely the case with the Griffith. Now this car has a 5 litre naturally aspirated engine, and that engine produces 582 horsepower fully tuned. That's some pretty serious power. If you could supercharge or turbocharge it, it could easily be up around or even over 700 or 800 horsepower. And it's a shame that we can't do that, because this car could be a monster. Now, as far as torque, being a larger engine, you'd expect quite a bit, and you do get quite a bit, 507 foot-pounds. So as far as power and torque at least, it certainly has great numbers for a sports car. But what really compounds the brilliance of what a TVR is capable of, in particular the Griffith, is the fact that they put all that power and torque into a relatively compact vehicle that is, more often than not, very, very lightweight. And that is definitely the case with the Griffith. This car is extremely lightweight. It's one of the lightest TVRs in the game. With the full weight loss package, you're looking at 891 kilos, which is superb for a vehicle with such a relatively large engine and that amount of power. Typically a sports car that weighs under 900 kilos wouldn't have anywhere near 500 horsepower, let alone over it. So potentially this could be a monster in a straight line at least. Now the horsepower per tonne is supercar level due to the high power and especially the ultra low weight. 653 horsepower per tonne is again really good territory for a 58 grand car, and the fully tuned PP is actually pretty reasonable. 571 is not bad at all. Now of course it's not a race car, and if it were, the PP would be even higher, but for a road going sports car, that really is a good PP level considering what you've got to work with. The question is then, what does it give you in a straight line, and also, more importantly, around the track? Well, as far as straight line performance, most of the TVRs, not necessarily all of them, but most of them, tend to hover around 250 miles per hour for top speed. The Cerberus, the Tuscan, and various others all do around that kind of level, 240, 250, maybe just over. And that's the case for this model as well. You're looking at around 250 miles per hour, which for the power is pretty good. and makes you all the more wonder why it couldn't have a turbo or supercharger, because this could easily be a 270 mph machine. Then again, that would annoy me even more, because that would make it quicker than the Speed 12. But that's a side argument, of course. Now, as far as competitive range, the Griffith, I would say, is very good. One of the best TVRs, in fact, despite the fact that it's not as popular as some others. It's very obvious to go for the choice of the Tuscan in particular, maybe the Tamora as well being a premium, and certainly the Cerberus. This car, not so much. It's not as obvious a choice, but it's definitely a worthy one. It's lighter than vehicles like the Cerberus Speed 6, the Tuscan, and various others. And around the track, it really can handle itself. TVRs have a reputation for being difficult to drive, dangerous even, but on GranTurismo at least, especially when tuned, this car handles itself remarkably well, especially given how much power you've got in such a lightweight vehicle. In terms of all-round ability, the Griffith is a severely undervalued car on GranTurismo that is genuinely brilliant, I would say, especially given, as I said earlier on in the episode, the amazing price. For 58 grand, this vehicle, I would say, really has no downsides, apart from, of course, it's not a premium, but I'm talking performance. It has the power, the torque, the low weight, the high horsepower per tonne, excellent PP level, and strong performance. If you're looking for a sports car that can blow most other sports cars out of the water, then the Griffith is a very, very sure bet to go for, even against other TVRs, because it's a little bit cheaper than many of them. But that's it overall for this pick. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.